Welcome to Group 2 presentation. In this presentation, we will learn what is diversity, why is it a human resource management issue, how social movements relates to recruitment and selection of employees, and why employees are more demanding than ever when it comes to their rights. I am Nurhat Saji, and let's talk about diversity. Diversity is the presence of differences within a defined workplace, including but not limited to those related to gender, race, ethnicity, culture, religion, age, and ability. Diversity is a natural characteristic of every society. Canada is a multicultural country. Canadians are from a vast range of nations, races, religions, and heritage. This multicultural diversity comes from centuries of immigration, and as a result, a diverse population is now one of the distinctive features of Canadian society. The diversity of Canada's population is expected to continue to increase significantly, especially in the large metropolitan cities. According to Statistics Canada in 2020, an estimated 21.9% of Canadian residents are immigrants, mostly coming from Africa and Asia, primarily the Philippines, India, and China. According to a recent survey, despite increased efforts around diversity and inclusion, many working Canadians continue to experience discrimination. Almost one-third, or 31% of those who identify as belonging to a visible ethnic minority say they have witnessed or experienced judgment or misconduct at their current workplace based on ethnicity or skin color. Another survey revealed that among those in the minority, 32% believe their ethnicity has negatively impacted their career growth, and 19% say prejudice or lack of diversity and inclusion based on their ethnicity has influenced their decision to leave an employer. Meanwhile, the current state of the nursing workforce is mostly unrepresentative of Canada's demographics, with the majority of frontline nurses being heteronormative white females, particularly in leadership and managing roles. So why is diversity a human resource management concern? That is because it harnesses the potential to build relationships as it promotes a more inclusive and supportive work environment. It can also generate engagement and staff buy-in and increase staff performance, which can attract and retain talented individuals from underrepresented groups. In nursing, diversity enables positive health outcomes. A diverse workforce can help address health disparities by better understanding and addressing the unique needs of different patient populations. Lastly, diversity provides positive staff and client experience. Having staff from diverse backgrounds can improve communication and trust between clients and providers, leading to better satisfaction. The healthcare system requires nurses with diverse perspectives, experiences, and skills to enhance patient care, encourage innovation, and meet the needs of a varied population in different environments. It is crucial to consider language and cultural differences in the workplace, as they can affect healthcare decisions, social practices, and overall health. Health disparities between majority and minority groups run the risk of getting worse if the nursing staff does not match the demographics of the country.
Social movements. Social movements can influence the recruitment and selection process by shaping the values and priorities of the companies. Two of the most prominent social movements in the recent years are the Black Lives Matter movement and the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. The Black Lives Matter movement is an international social movement formed in the United States in the year 2013 and is dedicated to fighting racism and anti-Black violence, especially in the form of police brutality. Their goal is to ensure justice and liberation for the Black people worldwide. The Black Lives Matter movement has brought attention to issues of racial inequality and police brutality. As a result, many companies have adjusted their recruitment strategies to attract candidates who share similar values. Here are the sample recruitment strategies that promote social justice within the organization. The organization will provide training hiring staff on avoiding bias hiring practices, partnering the Black professional and non-professional, putting in place fair and accessible screening and interview, ensuring that there are mechanisms to address bias when it occurs, and lastly, hiring based on skill set and not based on fit. Similarly, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission has brought attention to issues of reconciliation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples in Canada. Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada documented Canada's 120-plus year-long history of Indian residential schools, exposing a legacy of physical, mental, emotional, sexual abuse, and the destruction of Indigenous families and communities. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission calls to action address the ongoing impact of residential schools on survivors and their families. Call to Action urges the federal government to collaborate with Aboriginal groups in creating a unified plan to provide and eliminate gaps in education and employment opportunities between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal Canadians. Some companies have adjusted their recruitment strategies to promote Indigenous representation within their organizations. Additionally, some companies have implemented policies to support Indigenous employees. Here are the 6 steps to create an inclusive working environment for Indigenous workers. First, research existing Indigenous-friendly workplace programs. Second, research the culture of the Indigenous community you want to draw workers from. Third, educate your existing workforce on local Indigenous community culture. Fourth, knowledge of local Indigenous culture includes an understanding of cultural responsibilities and needs. Fifth is to provide Indigenous awareness training for the existing workforce. And the last one is to provide educational programs. The Black Lives Matter movement and the Truth and Reconciliation Commission have had a significant impact on the recruitment and selection process. By promoting diversity and social justice, these movements are shaping the values and priorities of companies. As a result, companies are not only becoming more inclusive, but are also better able to reflect a community they served.
Hello, my name is Sarah and I'll be discussing about employers and employees promoting multicultural work environment. We have here number 1, avoid discrimination and bias. So strive to treat everyone fairly and equally regardless to their background or cultural differences. Number 2 is offer diversity training. So provide educational opportunities for the employees to learn about the various culture, helping them to understand and appreciate diversity in the workplace. Number 3 is establish clear objectives, so set specific and measurable goals for promoting diversity and inclusion within the organization. So number 3 is encourage inclusive behavior, so foster a work environment where everyone feel respected, valued, and included. Number 5 is attract and retain a diverse team. So actively seek out candidates from diverse backgrounds during recruitment process and implement strategies to support the growth and advancement of employees from various cultural backgrounds. I will talk about why employees demand their rights. Number 1 is the legal framework. So Canada has robust employment laws and regulations for both federal and provincial level. Such laws are the CHRA, the Canadian Human Rights Act, the Employment and Standard Legislation, and the Unionization Right, which is establish employment conditions such as wages, working hours, health and safety, and protections against discrimination and harassment. Number 2 is the education and awareness. With increasing awareness and education, employers are empowered to assert their entitlement in their workplace. They are aware against their right regarding wages, pay slip, contract, and flexibility working hours. This encourages employees to demand their rights and hold employers accountable for any violations. Number 3 is employee advocacy and activism. Labor union play a role in representing workers, negotiating agreements, and ensuring compliance to the policies. Number 4 is legal protection and enforcement. Canada has established laws to protect employees' rights and to ensure employers are accountable for any breaches, and employees are seek to recourse through tribunal, labor tribunal, human rights commissions, or court, knowing these are the legal avenues to address injustices. Number 5 is changing work dynamics. Employees are demanding flexible working arrangements. They seek to balance professional responsibilities with personal and family commitment, and they expect to that the employers will accept these needs. I will discuss about employers' behavior. Employers' behavior is crucial. It directly influences workplace culture, employee satisfaction, and productivity. Positive behavior fosters a supportive environment, enhances reputation, and contribute to organizational success. Here's employers' responsibility. 1 is compliance with legislation, following laws about work rights. 2, establishing policies and procedures, implementing policies, procedures, and regulations in the workplace. 3 is providing proper notice to provide proper way of termination or scheduling. 4 is maintaining a safe workplace, so provide training to the employees like the WINS, Workplace Hazardous Material Information System. 5 is respecting employees, so treating everyone with respect. 6 is documentation and reporting, so report any accidents and keep it record. 7 is non-discrimination, so treating everyone fairly and equally. 8 is termination procedures, so must follow procedures and written notice. 9 is maintaining confidentiality, so keeping the information private and confidential about business and personal data. 10 is conducting fair disciplinary actions. Employers have to discipline employees in accordance to policies and procedure.
In summary, multicultural work environment. This concept transcends legal mandates and involves creating an inclusive atmosphere where individuals from diverse backgrounds feel welcome and valued. Cultivating inclusivity fosters innovation by leveraging a variety of perspectives, experiences, and ideas, leading to better problem solving and decision making. Social responsibility is fulfilled by actively promoting equality, respect, and understanding among employees, contributing to broader societal goals, and reducing discrimination and promoting social justice. 2. Inclusion and innovation. Inclusion refers to creating an environment where diverse voices are not only present, but actively heard, respected, and valued. Innovation thrives in such environments because diverse perspectives bring new ideas, insights, and approaches to challenges. When employees feel included and empowered to contribute, they are more likely to engage fully in their work and collaborate effectively with colleagues. Societal movements impact. Movements like Black Lives Matter and initiatives such as Truth and Reconciliation call to action shed light on systemic injustices within workplaces. They emphasize the importance of addressing biases, discrimination, historical injustices to create a fair and equitable work environments. Employers are increasingly expected to take concrete action to address these issues both internally and externally, to demonstrate their commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Addressing biases. Biases in hiring, promotion, and everyday interactions can perpetuate inequality and hinder diversity efforts. Employers must proactively combat biases through strategies such as blind recruitment processes, diversity training, and creating inclusive policies and practices. By addressing biases, organization can create a more equitable and diverse workforce that reflects to the broader community they serve. Employee activism. Employees are increasingly vocal about their rights and expectations regarding fair treatment in the workplace. This activism reflects a growing awareness of issues such as discrimination, harassment, and unequal treatment. As societal norms evolve, employees are more empowered to speak against injustice and hold their employers accountable for creating safe, respectful, and inclusive workplaces. Driving factors: increased awareness, access to information and societal media platforms have raised awareness of diversity and inclusion issues. Shifting social norms. Societal attitudes toward diversity, equality, and workplace behavior are evolving, influencing employee expectations. Economic uncertainties. During times of economic instability, employees may become more aware of their rights and more inclined to demand fair treatment. Generational perspectives. Younger generations entering the workplace prioritize values such as social justice, diversity, and inclusion, shaping workplace dynamics and expectations.